Welcome back, Pop Collector Alliance members, to this fourth episode, rightfully titled, Funko Has a Huge Problem. And you heard that correctly. I'm your host, Rick, joined by my co-host, Piper.
Yay, I just ate 2 big giant handfuls of cookie dough and I'm ready to go.
We got to cover the biggest topic of the week, and that is, what is with this queue? Last week, we mentioned in the Collector's Corner that the 12 Days of Funko had introduced us to this fancy software that puts you in a line. I didn't know enough about it at the time, so I didn't want to discuss it. Well, it's been a week, and we know much, much more. The horror stories out right now are that people are waiting before the queue starts. So let's say it opens what would you say, Piper? What time every day?
It seems like it's about 20 minutes before the launch time of the product. So, like, for us, that would be 8:40. At 8:40, it launched, the queue kicks in.
Yeah, and it randomly assigns you a place in line. So some of the stories I've read online now are people were waiting there from 7 o'clock in the morning to wait to get in line. There's no way that a website can tell what order someone arrived, as far as I can tell right now, right? That it's not going to say, oh, well, you got here at 6. You've been here since 6. We're going to put you at number 1 in line. There's no way that you can pre-wait.
If you could, it could assign you a cookie at a starting time. And with that cookie, it should be able to tell you, this is the original arrive time. And every time, even after you refresh however many times, it's still going to, as long as you have cookies saved on your machine or cookies turned on, it should show you the correct time.
But see, here's the problem with that. As collectors, we always have complaints, no matter what you do. If Hot Topic changes the way that they release exclusives from 4 o'clock in the day when they receive them on the shipment to the next morning because they're holding them, people are going to complain that they're releasing them at 4 o'clock because people are going to be scouting the UPS delivery drivers, and people are going to complain that they're releasing them at 10 o'clock at open because people can't get off of work at that time. You could be in either of those camps. You're never going to please everybody. There's no way possible. My biggest concern with this is that the way that stores make lines, right? People can go get in line. So the concept of what we're doing here with this queue is that they're putting everyone into a line, but it has no bearing on when you arrive. So you're just getting placed into a line. I don't even think assigning cookies is the right way to do this, because someone could just leave their computer on Funko for like 5 days. It doesn't.
Right. But you could, like I was saying, you could have a start time. So you would have to refresh it after that start time.
Yeah. But see, like, okay, let's say I buy something and then I say, okay, I refreshed it. Now I'm going to let my computer run for 24 hours. There's no solution to that. The way that it's going right now are people show up, 7 o'clock, they wait on their computer till 8:40 Central Time. Then they get assigned 5,000th in line. That's the biggest problem. That's what people are complaining about, is no matter what time you show up, if you've been there an hour, if you've been there 2 minutes, your place in line is just randomly assigned to you. What they need to do is just like they sell tickets online. When they sell the tickets for Fun Days or any other event, you go on the website and you just click, you purchase, or in this case, claim your spot in line when it opens. That's the fairest way that I can think that you can do it. People are still going to complain, but how do you remedy the situation better than that? Because doing it where, if you show up in line at 5 o'clock in the morning, we assign you a cookie, and then people find a way to manipulate that, it's not going to be fixed. And I think best possible solution here is getting there at 8:40 or whatever time they open it and just claiming your place in line. And they do it sequentially that way. What do you think?
Well, yeah, that seems like the fairest of solutions. But the big issue that I have with the queue here is I was reading, and it seems like the queue system is penalizing people that are waiting on the queue to open, and they're being flagged as, either as resellers or as, potentially people that are not legitimate. They're not legitimate purchasers. So they get set with a number that's higher than somebody who gets there right at start time. Which, if that's true, this is just all stuff that people have been talking about in different groups and things like that. Which I don't know how factual that is, but if that is the case, then there's an issue with that. Because again, just like there's no way for you to truly say, okay, you got here at this time. There's also no way to truly say, hey, I'm going to penalize you because you have a job where you can sit and wait at the computer for the queue to start. So because of that, I'm going to give you a super high number because I don't think you're a real person or you're a real collector. So there's so many variables here that can cause conflict and issue. And I think it's a better system right now than just being like, okay, the product's up, whoever can get to the checkout fastest wins. Because that doesn't work. I mean, look at stuff for San Diego Comic-Con and New York Comic-Con. Just throw the products up there and websites crash.
Well, I think Eventbrite has it right. And many of you don't know this, and we're going to cover this in a future episode on your best route to getting to fun days. If you don't know what Eventbrite is, they sell tickets to events, local events, larger events, anywhere. That's a third-party ticket sales site or app on your phone. And what they do is you claim your tickets, and immediately they put them into your shopping cart. They can take you directly to that. You purchase it, and then it's done. I think in this case, what I would suggest that they do is that when you show up in line for the queue or whatever at 8:40 and it opens, you claim your spot. Funko automatically puts that item in your shopping cart, and it stays there for 15 minutes like it does on Eventbrite. And if after 15 minutes you have not purchased that product, it goes back into the pool. And that's the same thing that happens on those sites. What that enables Funko to do is it enables them to create a separate area where people can go to checkout, so there's not 40,000 people in the checkout at once. And especially on the Trix Rabbit blocked version that they came out with that everyone threw their arms up. I made the statement that as soon as they come out with a limited edition item with a numbered piece that's a pop that everybody wants, everything's going to hit the fan at that point, because when people don't get something, they really like to complain about it. And I understand that, but some people just go way too far. You can't get everything. And some people say, that's what I'm looking for. If it's what you look for, by all means do it. But I think Funko's biggest compromise now is they need to look into what Eventbrite and other sales teams do in that situation, or apps do. You put that number of people when they claim it into the pool of the shopping cart. Let them check out. If they don't check out in that time frame of 15 minutes or whatever it is, then release that product back to the masses. That's my opinion. You can tell me if you agree with it or not, but it's just another thing in a long line of list of complaints. But when you deal with collectibles or anything, I mean, the freaking Hatchimals last year, you couldn't find them anywhere. I can't even find these Harry Potter socks, the 12 days of socks I wanted to get from my wife from Target. And they just show up. And BrickSeek says they're in stock everywhere. And every Target I go into, there's not a single pair of socks there. The whole list of stores in my area, which is like 20, 30 Target stores in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, said they were in stock. I went through every store, called them. They go, nope, we don't have them. People are here waiting for them. So it doesn't matter if it ends up being collectible and people can make money off of it. You run into the same scalper situation like it is there. But
it's unfortunate.
Were you in line for the Trix Rabbit?
Yeah, I overslept on that day. So I wasn't able to get in line at the normal time that I was, but I was there for whatever the item was the day before. Oh,
that
the
was
Grinch?
The plushie and the Grinch, yeah.
Yeah, so I only cared about the Grinch, which is I got the Grinch, but it was interesting because I was there way early. I think I got up that morning at like 6:30 to get my daughter dressed for school, and before I went to bed, I had the Funko site up on my phone. So as soon as I woke up, refreshed the page. Okay, the queue wasn't up, obviously, but I just want to make sure. Okay, because sometimes crazy stuff happens. I checked it probably every 5 minutes because I wasn't sure on the actual when the queue launches. So I want to make sure I was there early because I really wanted to. Because for some reason I thought the black and white Grinch, I thought it was actually a numbered piece and it wasn't. But I don't know, something in my brain told me it was. That's why I was like obsessively checking over and over again. And then, all through the day, I dropped my daughter off for school. Queue wasn't up yet. Then I was about to head to work, stopped to grab myself some breakfast. And when I was waiting in the drive-thru, I refreshed it right at the 20 minutes before, and I was in. So I had to have been one of the first people in the queue. And then, you have to wait that 20 minutes until it actually launches. And then boom, product launched. I'm number 4,000 in the queue.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'm like, okay, that in itself, I think a lot of people, their argument or their complaints are legitimate, but I think that the resolution isn't as easy as people think it's going to be. And there probably won't be a resolution that people are happy with. It's going to be one of those things we just kind of have to suck up and deal with and go with whatever system they decide to implement next time, because you can't beat it. You're just stuck with it.
Yeah, and it's something you got to marry yourself to. And if you're Funko, I don't know if they're receiving complaints or anything along those lines, but if you're Funko, take the input. If you're people, complain about it. Our voice as consumers should be empowered for us to complain, because we hold the power over these companies. If you don't buy their product, then they don't exist. So your voice matters in that regard. I'm not a big fan of putting subjective material on Facebook and ranting about it, but if that's where you want to rant about it and go off about it, then be prepared for the verbal bashing that everyone else is going to get. Because on the back end of this, and I'll wrap this segment up, a lot of people bought these and they either purposely spammed the purchase button or accidentally spammed the purchase button. One guy got 4, another guy got 3, and then a friend of mine got 2. So good luck to you. Spam the button if you want to flip, but this is truly by far the biggest no flip zone in the galaxy. There you go.
I'm glad that you jammed that in there.
But yes, you have entered the no flip zone. A couple other things I want to talk about this week before we get to our Finder Series Volume 3, Walmart. If you hadn't heard our podcast last week, check it out. We have wonderful things to say about Walmart shipping practices. And then we decided to lead that into this episode's content of covering Walmart and its Finder Series. But before we get there, I want to first mention that we did do an unboxing video. Piper had about a castle of boxes in his house that he had failed to open over the past 8 months.
They went all the way back to right before San Diego Comic-Con.
Okay, so we'll say 6 months. And
yeah, about 6 months of box piling.
I thought it was quite enjoyable because we kind of played a little game where we had everybody who was watching try to guess. Piper said, "Hey, this is where I got these from. Try to guess where it is." Now, it's awesome to do that. I thought that was great content because you had such a time span between when you bought them and when you opened them. So it's trying to remember back 6 months and everything that came out and actually seeing those pieces again and some of the more rare pieces that you got. So we had a lot of interaction in that, and I want to thank everybody for joining us for that. And we plan to do more of those events in the future. I think about 7 boxes I've got to open. So I'm letting them pile up. I'll do an unboxing video probably on first cost plus shipping event. Open those 7 boxes there. Do you have any more boxes, Piper, that came in yet?
Well, I got Christmas. I got the 12 Days of Christmas stuff that's coming in. And one of the people that was in the stream said that they would enjoy that if we had just Christmas stuff that we could open up. So there's a possibility for that. I've already opened like 1 or 2 of mine because they've started like flowing in now from the postal service. But I mean, there's always a chance for that.
Yeah, and I haven't opened any of mine, so we can open them there. But yeah, you can go to our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Pop Collectors Alliance. We do a lot of live videos on there. You can check out the videos we've already made. We had a party opening up all the mystery boxes and getting 4 million Predators. But also check out all of our videos. And back to what I was saying before, our first live cost plus shipping event. Now, this event is going to be held next Sunday, December 17th at 6 p.m. Central Time. That's 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Mountain Time, and 4 p.m. West Coast Time. And if you're all over the world, figure out what that is. But I'll cover the states. But yes, we're going to be doing our first live cost plus shipping event. What that entails is a bunch of stuff. I'm going to put a picture up probably on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of our social media tomorrow, and list a couple of the items. There'll be a couple good items I'm going to give away too. But what this is an event where you can attend our Facebook Live broadcast, and there will be an opportunity for you to get a chance to buy a rare item. And we do have a couple items. I know I have Beerus. I'm going to say that on the podcast. There will be a Beerus there, the common Beerus. I think that's worth like $50 on Pop Price Guide. I will give it to you cost plus shipping, what I paid for it to get it to my door, and also tons of items that'll be on that. So that gives you that opportunity to get steals and deals on rare items, as well as get a couple giveaways. So we look forward to you guys tuning in next Sunday, December 17th at 6 p.m. Central Time. And follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Pop Alliance Pod to find out more information. Get some of the pictures we're going to be releasing over the next week. So hopefully we can kind of drag it out throughout the week so we can unveil the items that we're going to be releasing at the first live cost plus shipping event. So
yeah, the one we did, the December unboxing one, I gave away an SDCC Red She-Hulk because that's what one of the guy that had got the most guesses right on what I was opening. That's what he wanted. So, and I got a couple of them in, so he got one of those, and I shipped that out on Friday.
We love to give, and there's tons of opportunities to receive. So here we are, Finder Series Volume 3, everybody's favorite segment. This week we're covering Walmart. And this was a little bit of a hard one to break down to a certain degree where I can't really, there's not a lot of meat here on the bone because there's, I wouldn't say controversy, but their handling of pops are pretty subpar. And I want to give this disclaimer because we put something on Facebook and people had a problem with it, and that's okay. You can have a problem with whatever you want to have a problem with. But the disclaimer I want to give everybody right now is when we rate stores, any retailer, any reseller, they're based on our experiences, our friends' experiences, and people we see online in Facebook groups experiences. I can't say that John that works in Walmart in Maine that no one I know has ever been to is a terrible employee. That's not what it's meant to be. It's meant to point out a specific situation where it's happened. And in Walmart's case, there's a lot of specific situations where this has happened. We're not singling anyone out or all of the employees out. Don't take offense to it. This is just based on our experiences. So if you're good with Pops at Walmart, let us hear about it. Hit us up at info@popcollectorsalliance.com. Tell us how good you are. Give us pictures, tweet us, whatever you want to do. Let us know how you work at Walmart and you take good care of Pops. That's what we want to hear. Without further ado, our pros and cons from Walmart. We like to start out with the pros. I'll take the first one. Walmart has some of the fastest store-to-door shipments. Now, this is also Walmart pickup. So store-to-door is fast. And a big part of it has been competition-based, right? Because Amazon does all of these sales. They have Amazon Prime where they can get to your door at no cost shipping in 2 days. Walmart took that as a personal challenge. I think they've done a good job of matching that. They do a lot of free shipping on their products, especially at this time of year. And they do an awesome job because their distribution centers are everywhere like Amazon's are. So that enables them to push out product fast. And they get into stores very fast. So if I order something online and I want to push it to the store for pickup, it normally gets there very fast. I would say they're more motivated than the other retailers outside of Amazon.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Also, Walmart's exclusives, they tend to be above average, what some of the other retailers have. They have a lot of rarer pieces and they're highly desired. A lot of times that's just because you can't find them in stores usually because they sell out super fast and you're going to be that's absolutely the case. You can't get them, or if you do find them in store, sometimes they can tend to be damaged. So the exclusives that you do find that are in good condition, that are Walmart specific, are going to be a lot higher in value. And just in general, the designs are a lot nicer than a lot of other, retailers.
What they're really, really good at is their exclusives for their mystery minis and their pint-sized heroes. So two that come to mind right away, they had Lotso for their Disney villains and pets exclusives. And Lotso is one of my favorite characters. Personally, I'm biased towards it, but I think across the board, their Power Rangers pint-sized heroes, they had the little Zordon tube with his head in it, and he's like floating in there. One of my favorite pint-sized heroes. You can tell right away when you get it. It was super hard to get, but they've been restocking them, so I was able to get one. So I was super stoked about that. But again, I think Walmart does a good job of getting the exclusives for the mystery minis as well.
Do you notice that a lot of their exclusives tend to be Star Wars?
Yeah, they have a lot of Star Wars exclusives. And they have a lot of Marvel exclusives too.
The big ones right now are the movie scenes for Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars. That whole line of movie moments. Walmart, I think you have a better story on yours, but my Walmart had quite a few of those.
Oh my gosh, we had you walk in on the general merchandise side of ours, that little walkway, and sometimes they'll have like, sodas set up, or they'll have like as seen on TV stuff, or just like random things there. They had one entire section of that, probably like a 8-foot section that was just the movie moments. There's probably 30 of each of the 4. So they're not hard to find. If you want them, go start hitting up Walmarts and just look in random weird places, and you'll find them. They're everywhere. But there's some of I really, really like those. I'm not a Star Wars guy at all, and I want to buy all of them.
Yeah, I like the action poses. They're so awesome. It just adds another element. And even for the Walmart Pop, that Spider-Man exclusive Blu-ray box that we got in our unboxing video, just that pop alone, that Spider-Man Homecoming pop where he's upside down reading a book, that is an awesome pop too. Yeah,
it's very different.
I saw a guy, I would love to give him credit, and maybe I'll give him credit in the show notes if I can find the post on Facebook, but it looked to be an IKEA shelf, and he took all of the movie moments and he put different lighting in each one of the shelves.
I saw that.
Yeah, didn't that look awesome? It was super cool. And
I think that guy builds custom displays for pops. Like he did like a door to like an old pickup truck, and he turned it into a display for Stranger Things.
If that's the guy that you're talking about, that I know, there's a lot of cool stuff that he does. So just feature him on here. The other pro for Walmart, BrickSeek, is highly accurate for this. And every hunting trip that I've been on where I've used BrickSeek, and I'm trying to think of the last one I did, I want to say it was the Mother Box Wonder Woman. It had the quantity on the dot. So it said the store had 6. I got there before anyone else. The store had 6, and I was able to purchase it there. I noticed that it tends to be more accurate than Target, so to speak, because Target, since they took quantity out of that equation and Walmart kept it, I think that Walmart's inventory system may report to BrickSeek, or they have more access than they do at Target, and they do a good job with that. That I would like to put a little caveat to that, is that this also can become a negative item, because when you report stock like that, people know that it's there. And if you're not close to that Walmart, and they're going to get there before you because it's so accurate. They know when they have it, and it updates instantaneously. I checked out with 2 of the Wonder Woman with the Mother Box, and it updated immediately. It said they had, I think 4 right as I left the store. So very accurate BrickSeek.
So kind of tying everything in that we said before, their online sales are great, both because of the deals and the availability of the product. If you want to find Walmart exclusives, that's going to be the best way for you to go about getting them, is just keep an eye online.
Yeah, and they do such a good job of doing sales on new products. Now, their pops are pretty much like $8.78, I believe, a piece. Again, there's so many Walmarts that can buy more, they get them for lower. And Walmart and Target, and I don't know if any other stores do this, I'm sure they do, but they actually circumnavigate the Funko process. So someone like me, if I want to buy product directly from Funko to resell at a convention, I've got to go through Funko to their suppliers, back to Funko, back to me. Walmart has circumnavigated that process. They can order the product directly from Funko's manufacturer in China and have it shipped direct to them, which probably saves them a ton of money. I don't even know what they're getting per item for those.
Well, it's Walmart. It's Walmart, and they have all the money in the world, so they're probably getting a good deal because they're buying so many.
Probably like $3 a piece or something. Selling them for $8.
Yeah, especially if they're getting it straight from China.
Yeah. So, and correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I've heard that from multiple sources and people that even work there. So, if I'm wrong, I apologize, but I would not try to falsely report that. I've validated it through multiple sources. So, anyways, that pretty much sums up the pros. Now it's time for everybody's favorite, everyone's favorite, most positive. Hooray! The cons. Okay, so my first con that I have here is damage. Everything.
You didn't say enough damage.
Damage. Everything that we said from our Target Finder series applies here, but to an exponentially larger level. I can't say enough about the boxes they put in there. Now, I think the boxes have 3-pound test. So you're putting your fist on there, laying it, and the box crumbles. I don't know what it is. And it seems to be primarily their, what is it? I can't think of their thing. The pickup boxes that they do from the factory. I think they just ship them in just terrible boxes. Now, Walmart employees, again, this is not your fault. I dropped one of those boxes on the floor and the corner completely crushed. I know that those boxes get dropped like 30 times just from throwing them on conveyor belts and pushing them into other boxes. It's not your fault. Don't take offense to it, but still, there's so much damage to stuff that I've received there. Every time I order something there, I expect it to be damaged.
And this is kind of where we caught some flack from people from what we had posted on Facebook about how a lot of our experience with the damaged pops. And, you know, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. And there's not a lot of option when you're dealing with exclusives. Yeah, you're saying that why do you, people are going to ask you, why do you buy from there then? Well, my option is if I want a Walmart exclusive, it's either I have to deal with Walmart directly or I have to deal with eBay and pay more money for it. So it becomes like this crazy juggling act of, you know, which one is it going to be? Do I want to gamble on something that's broken, or do I want to go with something I know that's going to be in good quality or hopefully be in good quality and be backed by eBay, but I'm going to pay double what I would have if I would have just gone into the store.
Yeah, and you hit the nail right on the head there. The biggest thing is the exclusives. And a lot of times you won't find exclusives in the store, which is another con in and of itself. You have to buy them online. You're forced to have them shipped to your house or the store. So it puts you between a rock and a hard place if you want to be able to get an exclusive. I'm going to go into another one. You never, ever know when a product is releasing. And even for San Diego Comic-Con, they released it a week early.
That's what happened with Uncle Pennybags, the Monopoly Man, right? He was supposed to come out like 3 different times, and they pushed it back and kept pushing it back for some weird reason. They never had a reason why. It was just like, it'll be out sometime, maybe, if you're lucky.
And you got to stay on top of the ball with these things, because I'm going to add you never know when the product's coming out, but also on top of that, if you sign up for alerts, if you find a placeholder and you say, okay, send me an alert. Nope, not happening. Good luck. That's all I got to say.
I don't know what that box even does. You put in your email address and then it just like says thanks, and it doesn't actually do anything with that data.
I know.
It's just like, it just refreshes the page. And you're okay, good, thanks.
I know exactly what it does. It immediately prints out a page in the Walmart factory, and a guy puts it through the paper shredder.
He was like, this guy wants that.
Nope. Bzz, bzz. What's your job? Everyone that wants an alert, I just take the printout and put it in the shred it.
On top of that, shelf location at Walmart is awful. You never know where pops are going to be if you're going to a Walmart that's not your regular. Sometimes you'll find, like in mine, okay, we have a lot of Walmarts in our area. Okay, that's one store that we actually do have an abundance of. So I have a couple of locations that I can go and look for stuff. But like the one that's closest to my house, you walk in and they have the movie moments pops right as soon as you walk in. Okay, then they have pops on an end cap and toys, and then they also have down one of the specialty toy aisles. They have a whole section that's dedicated to pops and mystery minis and pint-sized heroes, and then all the other random Funko stuff like the emoji ball things that nobody buys.
My emojis.
Those are all there. And then, you know, a lot of times you can find them in the clearance aisle. We have a special dedicated toys clearance aisle that you can find them in sometimes. So it's at least 5 different places that you have to look when you get here. And then like one of our other locations, they also have them down with the Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards too. So you really have to either look all over the entire store, almost on every shelf and aisle. You know, you might find them down the sugar aisle and baking supplies. For some reason, they decided to put the strawberry shortcake pops down there. But you have to either go to these Walmarts regularly to figure out where their insane planogram specialist has decided to place them, or you just have to hunt all over the entire store because they're going to be placed in really weird places.
Selections and quantities are typically lower than anywhere else you can go per what the store offers. If you go into a Walmart store, they have tons of stuff, and they have about a 4-foot by 5-foot section of Funko. So they don't have an opportunity to buy large quantities of items. they typically buy assortment packages. So if they get something from a Star Wars movie, The Last Jedi, they get a 6-pack and they all have individual pops in there. Once those singles sell, they don't have any more of them. Another thing is maybe it's just because Walmart doesn't see a lot of opportunity in the product, therefore they don't give it shelf space. Because they know what their sales trends are and everything changes over time. They know where to put on shelves. They know how much shelf space to give it. And I think all stores do it, but Walmart just took that really to the next level. So I think that's everything that we have for cons, other than the biggest thing I want to repeat is there's lots of damage. I mean, to sum everything up, if you want to take anything out of this, the damage alone in Walmart goods is enough to lower their score as much as we did. The overall rating for this week, I want to say Walmart doesn't understand Funko, nor do they care about Funko. And most importantly, they don't market the product because it's not a big product for them. I'm not even saying that's a terrible thing. They get style points for what their exclusives are, and they're above average rating for exclusives, fast delivery, and great tracking their inventory with BrickSeek. But all of that's gone, thrown out the window immediately with their limited shelf space, multiple layouts, and employees that almost always say, "What is a Funko?" My favorite line. So Walmart,
don't bother talking to anybody there. You just look for yourself.
What's a Funko? What's a Funko? I think just purposely sometimes some of them are like, "What's a Funko?" Because like, yeah, I got all the exclusives in my car trunk. But
that's another thing is there's no management doesn't care about anything. They'll let employees buy whatever they want.
And there's so much stuff there in their defense. Who really knows what a Funko is if you're the store manager? Now, in Walgreens' case, if they say, "What's a Funko?" I got a little bit of a problem with that because you don't have a lot of stuff in your store. But because of all of that.
The only thing you're selling in your store is Band-Aids and Tylenol. There's some toys. You better know what all those toys are.
Exactly. You should know the UPC of every item. But for all of that, Walmart, we are sorry. And we try to keep this positive. We did say negative stuff, but we did not bash individuals. We bashed
I was ready to.
The collective.
I was ready.
But Walmart, we have given you a score of 4 out of 10. If you agree with the score, disagree with the score, or anything along those lines, hit us up on Twitter at Pop Alliance Pod, on Instagram at Pop Alliance Pod. Email us to cuss us out if you're a Walmart employee and think that we were talking trash about you. We weren't. That is info@popcollectorsalliance.com, or send us a line on Facebook.
This week, my specialized job is going to be deleting those tweets and DMs.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be sending them through the shredder.
You're going to be the shredder guy. You'll print them out.
Yeah, I'm going to print every one of them out and then shred it and then delete the fact that you even sent it. No one will be the wiser.
So tell us what you think. Now,
please.
The fun stuff, the Walmart, where to find them. Now, as I say every single week, store layouts may vary. And in this case, store layouts vary big time. If you're going into, I don't even think they make them anymore, Walmart stores without grocery sections, but Walmart stores that aren't super Walmarts. Everything is super Walmart.
They still have hometown stores, but it's just grocery.
Remember when Walmart first opened, all they were like Rose's or Kmart, and they didn't have a grocery section. But now everything's a super Walmart. But again, sometimes the toys are on the right side of the store, they're on the back or the left side of the store. Sometimes the groceries on the right side, the general products are on the left, general merchandise. So all the stores can vary, but again, we try to do the best of pointing it out. So where do you find them? You find them mostly in the toy section. We'll elaborate a little bit further on where else you can find them, but for the most part, they're going to be in the toy section. Now, I know Piper said that his can be on an end cap. Mine are typically in the toy section, but I have found them on the end cap too. Special displays, especially like the movie moments that came out with Star Wars, they can be on an end cap and toys, but almost always, 100% of the time, the biggest section of pop that they have in the store is going to be located in the toy section. Unfortunately for this, there's not a lot of meat to where to find them because they don't really keep them anywhere else. You can find them at the front, but that's our hunting tip for the week. So I'm going to get right into that. Our number one hunting tip for this week is look at the front of your store. Now, not every Walmart does this, but a lot of them do this. They put them in the Pokemon / NFL cards / whatever cards aisle that's at the front of the store. It's the collectors section. They put exclusives where I'm from, go up there a lot. There's 3 or 4 Walmart stores that exclusively put exclusives in that section. So a lot of times you'll come in, you'll look in the back and you'll be like, what is going on? And they're all up at the front by the Pokemon cards. Now they use this space for also the mystery minis a lot of times I've seen there. They also put some of the plushies they have up there in that section as well. They very rarely ever put pops in like item section. So you won't find them in toys beside Marvel toys. They'll be in a dedicated Funko Pop section. So the first hunting tip of this week is really look at the front of the store before you even go back to the Funko section, because that's the easiest section to hit up. The second hunter's tip for this week, we really don't have expert hunting tips because there's not much to be an expert hunter for at Walmart.
Expert hunting tip is buy it online.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If anything is expert, it would be this tip: placeholders, placeholders, placeholders. Now, if you're not a member of a Funko group, there are tons of groups on Funko that are dedicated to helping you find items, especially placeholders on a website. They find the page that the product's going to be located on and they share that to the Funko community. Some of the ones are Funko experts or Funko finders. If you're not a member of that group, I highly suggest that you become one, because that's the easiest way. We'll try to repost those. If we find them ourselves, we'll put them up on the Pop Collectors Alliance page on Facebook. But for the most part, if you want the most up-to-date items, because there's thousands of people in these groups that dedicate themselves to finding these placeholders, Walmart is the best place to get stuff online, because some of that stuff never reaches the stores because they don't do the volume and sales at that store of Funko products. So they're not going to send the products out there. So again, Funko experts, Funko finders, there's tons of groups that you can find that information out on. How do they do it, Piper? How do they find the stuff on the web pages?
Actually do is they go through and they dig through the structure of the website and they look for different pages, and based on what the URL of the page is, I know this is getting super nerdy, but they look at the URL and most of the times they can kind of figure out, okay, this is where, XYZ item is going to be located on the website when it eventually goes live. Because a lot of times the team that's in charge of the website is going to know in advance, okay, here's the product, it's going to go live on this date, and they go ahead and they create the page, and then on the day it's supposed to go live, then they make it, they hit a button and it's available. So what a lot of these guys do is, they have software that allow them to dig down through like the hierarchy of all the pages, and they find, oh, this is going to be, a new Hellboy pop, or this is going to be a microwave or something like that. So
they push it out there and they do a good job of it. It's the best way to ensure that you're going to get that pop. The final hunting tip of this week is clearance. And this will just be a segue into where are the deals. We'll just combine these two sections. Clearance is awesome at Walmart. Clearance is awesome online. If you heard our Black Friday episode, we talked about how we got these amazing deals at Walmart where we've got 3 packs for $2.97, 3 packs for $5. We got individual pops for like $1.98, and they've been competing with Amazon. I think Amazon has like overall the best way to get a deal. If you're doing add-ons to your purchase, they offer excellent deals, but Walmart is quickly catching up here in this regard. Online, you find those deals for add-ons, but in the store, you find even better deals. Now, I don't know about you, Piper, but all my Walmart stores, they don't have a toys clearance section in the toys section.
Mine does, but only one of our stores in the area. We have 4 or 5, and one of those, one from that pool actually does on the back wall of toys. They have a dedicated clearance there.
Yeah, so if that's the case, and that's why I wanted Piper to talk about it, check toys section, because you might be able to find good deals there. And not only Funko products, they have lots of stuff in there. But most of my clearance sections are over in like housing goods. They have one row that they put over there between like the auto section, lawn and garden, and housing goods. And this could vary from different stores. So I recommend asking an associate. All of them know where the clearance section is because so many people ask about it. My biggest story from the clearance section is a buddy of mine said, man, they got a lot of pops in clearance. So I went to the Walmart and they had everything from Rogue One. All of the pops they had just gotten a week before, like 10 days. And they had marked them all down to like 98 cents or $1.98 in clearance. I don't know why. Most of the pops were undamaged. A couple had a corner ding, but that's normal at Walmart or any store for that matter for being on the shelf and being unloaded. A couple had corner dings, but still, I was able to get like 10 pops. I paid like $12 for them. So check out the clearance section at Walmart for great deals, great opportunities on stuff. And then sometimes they take stuff in the back that may have gotten lost and they put it out there in the clearance section. So I know a couple of people that found some older pops that were rare and worth more money in the clearance section as well.
I've never had a lot of luck in the Walmart clearance section for pops, but like I have for other toys that are fairly valuable and harder to find, like Mega Blocks especially. Like I've found a couple of sets there for like dirt cheap. But it's always worth checking, because even if you don't find pops over there, you can still find some cool stuff.
Yeah, and there's a dude online, if you haven't seen the story that they put out on Dateline or whatever it was, where he makes $4 million a year going into clearance sections at stores and reselling all that stuff on Amazon. I don't think everyone can do it, but he did. So there's amazing deals in clearance at Walmart. So that concludes the Walmart Finder series. That is volume 3 of our Finder series. We're getting up there. And next week, I plan to do a smaller store, but a store that's almost solely dedicated to pops now, for your entertainment, FYE. So next week's Finder series, volume 4, will be on FYE. Tune in next week to hear more about that. And now our collector's story of the week. You promised us last week, Piper, to bring in a little keyboard and do some intros, but we don't have it yet. So production value is still down. We're getting there. We got to get the house.
I can't play you off like I'm the keyboard cat.
There you go. Or you need to get one of those little keyboards that is like a harmonica, like you blow into. I forget. I've seen it. There's like a little anime video online where the girl walks around and she plays all of the music at cons where people are cosplaying. So like Attack on Titan. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, and she has that little keyboard / harmonica thing. I don't know what it is. I don't know what they call that instrument.
Have you seen those things that look like musical notes and they have a mouth on them and you squeeze them and then they like sing?
No, I haven't.
All right, I'll have to find a video after this and I'll show you.
We'll put it in the show notes too.
Yes.
So our collector story of the week is my own story, because I didn't get a story from our audience. So I highly encourage you to send us your collector story of the week. Maybe a story you heard, maybe a story of your own that's either positive or negative. We want to share your stories online with other collectors. That's at info@popcollectorsalliance.com. But this story this week comes from me. It's my wife's birthday on Sunday, and we were desperately trying to complete our Book of Life pops. Now, these are some of the cooler pops that are out there. The La Muerte pop that comes from the Book of Life, she has a hat that's red, and it's one of the best glow-in-the-dark pops out there. But anyways, we needed to get Manolo Remembered, and it's sort of the Day of the Dead Manolo from the movie The Book of Life, if you haven't seen it. And we looked everywhere. I tried every convention I've pretty much been at. We got Zibaba earlier this year, and we just needed that pop. So I tried at 4 or 5 conventions. Luckily, in our Facebook group, it came open. I was able to meet the people. It was about an hour away, an hour drive. But I did not complain because they gave me a great deal on it. They're awesome. I'm not going to mention their names because I didn't get permission. But it was just a good all-around transaction. I got to meet with them, meet new collectors, which I love doing, and hearing their story and how many pops they have and how long they've been collecting, all about that. So I really would like to thank them. Hopefully they'll be tuning in this week. Again, I'm not going to mention your names, but thank you very much, because it was an all-around pleasant experience, and I know my wife is going to be happy on her birthday. So thank you very much. Again, if you have a story that you want to be featured, email us, info@popcollectorsalliance.com. We want to hear your stories.
That was very forceful how you said that. You were demanding people to email us.
Well, I know, people can get over that, because that's demanding for a good thing. I want to hear your stories because I think it's awesome, especially when people get good deals. If you have horror stories, hey, I'll listen to that too. I don't like to hear horror stories as much, but sometimes we can all take a good lesson from those horror stories. So anyways, where's your key? Did you get your keyboard out? This week's Collector's Corner.
Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop.
Collector's Corner. Not a lot this week. The biggest thing from Collector's Corner is that we've been able to do is if you go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/popcollectorsalliance, you can check out the Hot Topic Nerdette video that Piper says he always watches every month. They do a live Periscope, but they really kind of feature the pops on the YouTube video that they create shortly after. And there's a lot of stuff releasing at Hot Topic this month. A couple of the items, it's a Stitch from Lilo and Stitch is their new Diamond Series pop. They have a Rose. They're actually something that's out of the norm from Funko. They did the Rose from Beauty and the Beast in the dome top, like they did with R2D2 and BB-8. So that's awesome. And they also did Furiosa from Mad Max, and it's a Hot Topic exclusive.
Which I don't get that. That didn't make sense to me.
Which one?
The Furiosa.
I think it looks awesome. My wife loves that movie.
It looks cool, but it's a weird, like, that movie's been out for like how long? And they're like, let's make this one pop.
They have that one, but they have a whole set that they're releasing. And I think
it doesn't matter.
But they announced the release of that pop, I think in August or something. So it's something that you forget about, but this is one of the cooler variants of it. I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, Pickle Rick. I put a couple videos up on the Facebook page. The Pickle Rick should be coming out, and man, they look awesome. The detail on those pops look amazing. So look for those to hit stores. Those are just commons. So look for them to hit stores pretty soon. And again, if you haven't already pre-ordered that Sonic or the Jason Voorhees or Freddy Krueger from GameStop, do so. There's links on our Facebook page, or you can just go into your local GameStop or ThinkGeek and order them there. And I think that's all we have for this week. You guys all want to tune in to our first Cost Plus Shipping live event on December 17th at 6 p.m. Central. We are going to be doing a lot. We are opening this with a bang. And then a future announcement to come. We are going to be sponsoring something local in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It's a pop swap. More to come on that, but it's going to be another good opportunity to come out and meet us, win some giveaway items, and also find some harder to find items that will definitely be there. So if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area or traveling to this area in February of next year, we'll release the date soon enough, and you can come and see us at that event. I don't know, whatever you want to do to us. Give us high fives or fist bumps.
We'll bump it all around.
So more to come on that, but follow us again on Twitter and Instagram at Pop Alliance Pod. You can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Pop Collectors Alliance. Our website is popcollectorsalliance.com. info@Pop Collectors Alliance is our email. Email us whatever you want. You love us, you hate us, you want to do anything to us. Doesn't sound good.
Whoa.
But still. And you can find many more podcasts on astropandaproductions.com. That's our network we are hosted with. Go to blogtalkradio.com/astropanda to listen to some of those other shows too.
You can check out my other project I do. It's called Nerd Life. You can go to the website, nerdlifetx.com. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at GWSRaincore. And that's it.
And if you like video games, I'm going to do a plug for you.
All right,
and you're a big time gamer, check out Piper's podcast. He does a show on our network too, with me too. I'm not a full-time. Well, I don't know. I'm in between full-time and part-time. We'll just say
you're pretty much full-time at this point.
I'm just a little guest on there. I try to act like I know about gaming, but those guys do an excellent job. We've covered some deep topics. I think this episode is a really good opportunity for you to check out and learn more about net neutrality. If you don't know about net neutrality, check out Gaming with Scissors. You can find them on iTunes, Google Play, wherever podcast is played, and also at blogtalkradio.com/astropanda. Gaming with Scissors podcast. And until next week, my friends, I'm Rick.
I'm Piper.
Good night.